Georgia candidate Herschel Walker, who calls himself pro-life, is facing a lot of criticism following the revelation that he had once paid for an abortion. So let's get into the details here. It's according to a report from the Daily Beast by Roger Sollenberger, a woman who asked not to be identified out of privacy concerns had told the publication that after she and Walker had conceived a child while they were dating back in 2009, he then urged her to get an abortion. Now, normally, look, a situation like this, I wouldn't care. Most people would not care at all about it. This is not my business. It's not our business. It shouldn't matter at all. In a normal world, this would be not news. Why is it newsworthy then? Because Herschel Walker, candidate Walker, I should say, who's a Republican, says openly that he would love to ban abortion. He says that abortion is murder, literally murdering babies, and that if he had the chance, and he would if he's a senator, to ban it with no exceptions for rape or incest. None at all. So, yeah, there's some hypocrisy in this one, right? Now, going back to the information in the piece, the woman said that she had had the procedure and that Walker had actually reimbursed her for it. So she supported these claims with, of course, receipts. So she brought the receipts. It's in the article. It was a $575 receipt from an abortion clinic, a $700 personal check from Walker addressed to her, and a bank deposit receipt that included a signed image of Walker himself. Fascinating. And the best part, though, is a get well card. Hey, sorry about the whole impregnating you and then, asking you to get an abortion thing. Feel better soon? Okay. Right? Sure. Now, again, the hypocrisy also extends to the reason for the said abortion, which, again, I don't really care what reason. That's your right. It's your body. That's it. But his reasoning makes sense, actually. Now, the woman said that Walker, who was not married at the time, told her it would be more convenient to terminate the pregnancy, saying it was just not the right time to have a family, have a child. She agreed it was a mutual agreement that they get an abortion. So, of course, he didn't pressure her, just like, hey, we're not ready for this. I'm not ready for this. That's fair. Again, I have no problem for that particular reason. That said, the real reason we find out, though, at least from her, she said that she had no idea that Walker had another out-of-wedlock child with another woman earlier that same year. Oops. So, yeah. Oh, man, I'm not ready for, I'm just not ready to have a child. It's not the right time because I literally just had one with someone else. Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe, Walker was in the middle of a bit of
sexual anarchy.
And just didn't have time. But you know what? I still don't care. Again, not my business what he does with, well,
tallywhacker.
But whatever. Okay. But going to the hypocrisy, right? For Walker, it's abortions for me, or, the woman that I'm with, but not for thee. No. I can have one. I can get one. I can have my girlfriend at the time get one because I'm not ready. But when it comes to you, I don't care. If you're not ready, if you don't have the resources for that child, or if you just don't want to add another child to that life, or God forbid, your life is literally on the line, I don't care. You were raped by an uncle, don't care. You're a 10-year-old, don't care. That's Herschel Walker's stated policy positions. He does not care about you. He only cares about himself. Now, that said, asked if Walker ever expressed regret for this decision. Which, again, this really goes to the argument that right-wingers, I've seen them make to defend Walker. Well, people change. People change their positions. You know, they have situations where they kind of wake up and realize that, oh, it's the barbarity of this situation. And they realize that, you know, it was life, and they feel regret. Well, did he ever feel regret? The woman said that Walker never showed any regret whatsoever for his decision. Oh, interesting. I guess so. When it comes to him, no regret at all. But when it comes to you, that's murder. And you should be thrown in prison for it, because that's the Republican policy. Understand that what they have done in these states that have banned abortion completely, or, you know, had very minimal exceptions that, by the way, are pretty garbage, because you have doctors in these states that don't know whether or not they could do a life-saving procedure because the rules are so incredibly, vague, and everything is just gray. Well, they can't do these procedures because they're afraid that they're going to get hit with, you know, penalties for giving an abortion, or what the state would consider to be an abortion. So, that said, she came forward with this information because she was fed up with the hypocrisy. She said, I just can't with the hypocrisy anymore. We all deserve better. I agree with that. So now, when this report came out, Herschel Walker immediately responded to it. Here's what he said. Let me show you the image here. Quote, "This is a flat-out lie, and I deny this in the strongest possible terms. This is another repugnant hatchet job from a Democrat activist disguised as a reporter who has obsessively attacked my family and tried to tear me down since this race started. He's harassed friends of mine, asking if I fathered their children. Hey, look, based on your experiences, is that really that far-fetched of a question? I mean, come on. Like, how many secret children do you have?" Anyway, he's called my children secret because I didn't want to use them as campaign props in a political campaign. No, literally hiding them because you never saw them. Now they're using an anonymous source to further slander me. They'll do anything to hold on to power. It's disgusting gutter politics. I'm not taking this in. I'm planning to sue. Planning to sue the Daily Beast. And just note that. Planning for this defamatory lie. It will be filed tomorrow morning. Oh, can't wait. Can't wait. Discovery is going to be real fun. If it ever, of course, makes it that far. Which it won't. It won't. So there's that. Now, Robert Ingram, after the Daily Beast reached out to the Walker campaign for comment, Robert Ingram, a lawyer representing both the campaign and Walker in his personal capacity, had responded to this. You're going to love this. They're claiming that this article was racist. Quote, "This is a false story," Ingram said in a phone call, adding that he had based that conclusion on anonymous sources. Again, there's a good reason that this person does not want to reveal her identity, mainly the fact that we're dealing with Republicans here who would immediately go after her. Of course. And then added, all you want to do is run with stories to target black conservatives. You focus on black conservatives. What? I mean, that entire argument boils down to, it is you who are the racists for actually running this story. Checkmate, libs. But wait a minute, this isn't about his race at all. Again, we pointed out that the left in Daily Beast and all these outlets, they reported about how plenty of white conservatives have done the exact same thing and have been called out on their hypocrisy. Pretending to be this, pro-life champion And then we find out, oops, oh no. Oh, it turns out when it was inconvenient for you to have a baby, you were able to get an abortion. And you were able to get that abortion because of the left, the Democrats who protected the right to choose, who have been championing the right to choose. And you use that without a problem. And then, of course, you campaign against it. You call Democrats, the left, baby murderers, the worst thing in the world, while sneaking into the abortion clinic and being like, I got a problem. I got to get rid of it. So, yeah, spare me the hypocrisy, guys. Spare me. One example, by the way, is Scott DeCharlie. You remember that? A Republican politician. He had a mistress who he took to get an abortion. Hey, mistress, oops, I got you pregnant. Why don't we get an abortion? Scott DeCharlie is white. Race has nothing to do with this. And again, has everything to do with the hypocrisy. Everything to do with just the nonstop barrage of lies that comes from these people. Look, Herschel Walker, when it comes to lying, Herschel Walker cannot help himself. You know, he's a serial liar. I've talked about his lies plenty of times on the show, especially when it comes to, again, being pro-life and pro-family. Oh, yeah, I'm very, very pro-family in the fact that I don't see them at all. Like, there's a good question whether or not he knows how many kids he actually has out there. I don't know. And look, maybe some of that, some of the falsehoods might have to do with the head injuries he got from football. I'm being very charitable there. Maybe he doesn't know fact from fiction anymore. I think he claimed to be a former agent, like of the FBI or something, former law enforcement. Really weird stuff, really strange lies that you almost think like, wait, maybe he does live in a completely alternative reality where he thinks he is this person. I don't know. But, or I should say, maybe he just is, being a total hypocrite. And there's no excuse for it. I don't know. I don't really know one way or the other. That said, I think it is very interesting to talk about the fact and to point this out, because I didn't address it anywhere else in the story. But this is an example of somebody with means, Herschel Walker, being very, wealthy, a former NFL great, being able to go and pay for these procedures, which are not cheap. Again, we're talking, back in the early 2000s, that it was still over $500 just to get the procedure done, not to mention lodging, not to mention travel, not to mention all the other costs that are associated with getting reproductive health care like this. Because we live in a country that doesn't guarantee health care to every single person. And also, by the way, thanks to Republicans, thanks to things like the Hyde Amendment, you don't have federal funding for abortion services. Even in the cases where, again, it's medically necessary to save a woman's life. So there's that. But it just shows that people of means, regardless of their public stance in this issue, will always have the option to get abortions, even if they're successful in banning it here in the States or even in the country. For a lot of those people, you can see that they will always, when they need it, will use those means. Again, abortion rights for me, but not for thee.